go. You ready? The reptilians are not real. Nope. They're only a fear tactic. They're used as fear propaganda against all of you. There's no snake there's no reptilian shapeshifters. There's no draconians. There's no flying lizard people. There's none of that shit. It's only to scare you. Only to scare the fucking shit out of you. Hitler, all that shit. Hitler, yeah, all this crap is out there to scare you. Everything they're doing is to scare you. It's all fear propaganda. But the reptilian shapeshifters is fear propaganda. There are no reptilian shapeshifters. There's no lizard people. There's no aliens. There's none of that shit. I was believing in the reptilians since the beginning. I just recently discovered this. Put the pieces together. When they do this stuff, they do it in layers. They don't tell you one lie. They tell you like 4 or 5 lies in a row. So there's layers of lies that you have to get through before you get to the truth. Okay, just remember that, people. There's layers of lies before you get to the truth, and when you get to the truth, then you know it, and you know it's more than one. It's usually twofold, you know, something like that. So they give you the reptilians to scare you in the beginning. And it's like, here, let's mention the reptilians and talk about this. They've been talking about it since before we were born. A creature from the Black Lagoon. You know, it's been in the movies all since before we were born. You know, this V. You know, the movie V. You know, all this stuff was when I was, you know, before I was even born. They made this shit. You know, so they've been drumming into our head about these reptilians and these to scare us from day one. You know, Hitler and all this fake shit. It puts a good scare on you. You know, I mean, it makes you feel helpless. That's what they're doing. Trying to make you feel like there's an enemy out there that's bigger and stronger and more powerful than you in all ways. So you're helpless. Okay? To make you feel helpless. Make you feel powerless. And to take your divinity away from you. To take your divinity away from you. Okay? And give all the power to them and some fucking lizard creature. Lizard person. You know, it's a bunch of crap, man. It's all Freemason deception. There's a bunch of Freemasons running this shit. A bunch of fucking Freemason, dirty old pedophile men. Okay? It's a bunch of pedophiles. A bunch of pedophiles that want your children. So they can serve them up at McDonald's and molest them and do all kinds of horrible shit to your children, alright? That's what the fuck is really going on. Alright? That's what the Freemasons are doing. And that's what this whole and human enslavement of humanity with their trickery and lies. All it is men lying to you and twisting things around. So it's like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain, you know, and then you get to the end of the Wizard of Oz and there's just this little feeble old man behind the curtain. Okay? Behind the curtain there's nothing but a feeble old man, disgusting man sitting behind it who's manipulated this whole thing and pulled all the strings, you know, by deception. Okay, and to keep themselves as far away from you as they keep you as far away from them as they can, so they can, and they weave webs around themselves. Okay, they weave webs. Okay, they weave webs like a spider, and they weave those webs out there so you can never get to them because there's so many webs weaved. Okay, when you weave webs like a spider does, and you're creating all these lies and stuff like that, and you got the dumb masses dumbed down, it's real easy to keep those lies going and have so many lies that you're never going to find the truth until you get through all the webs, because they're just, you know, so that's what they've done here. And the reptilians are not real, you know. There's the only thing that's snake-like around here is the way that they act. Okay, now they are the fellers of the trees, the Rockefellers, the fellers. All the beginning, when you take a tree down, you're called a fell. You fell the tree. So, you know, the tree is fell. It's a feller. You're called a feller. Okay. The word Nephilim. The word Nephilim. Excuse me. The word Nephilim means to fall. To fall. It means the fellers. Nephilim means the feller. Feller. It means, and feller means tyrant. Tyrant, giant tyrant. It means feller. It means bully. Okay? It means, you can look it up in Strong's Exhaustive Concordance. Look that up. It's the Strong's Exhaustive Concordance. And the definition of Nephilim is fellers, bullies, tyrants. Giant tyrants. Okay? There are no giants out there. The giant means like a tyrant. You're giant in what you do. You've achieved something grand. That's what giant means. It's not some giant. The giants are fake. There are no giants out there either. There's no reptilians and there's no giants either. That's all fear propaganda. Again, there's some big giants running around, and there's great white sharks in the ocean. You can't get in the ocean. The great whites are fake. Everything's fake. Gorillas are fake. Every freaking animal out there that's meant to scaring you is fake. They're all fake. Everything's fake. Australia's fake. Freaking every Greenland's fake. Every freaking thing is fake around you. It's all, you're in a fake world. Everything's fake. Okay? But except for the falling of the trees. We used to have trees that covered this whole place. This place used to be a forest. Now it's fields. Okay? This is the fields of the Nephilim. Here, okay? These are fields of the Nephilim, not the forests of the Nephilim. This isn't forests anymore. We used to live in the forests, in the trees, high among the clouds, and in the big trees. And they smelled so good, and the fruits were so big, and they sustained us forever. We never had to worry about anything. We didn't even have none of this. We didn't even speak. Everything was taken care of for us. And we lived in pure pleasure. And now we don't have the trees anymore because of the Nephilim, which means feller. It doesn't mean you're a big giant alien. It means feller, tyrant, bully, Freemason with excavator and taking down a tree with fire. They burn the trees down. They excavate them down. And then they chop them down. Men through the ages, and these people through the ages, they had nothing better to do but chop on trees and take trees down. Okay, they became experts at it. Okay, no matter how big the tree was, they'll get that motherfucking thing down. It doesn't matter if a tree's 30 miles around. Okay, if it's a 30-mile around trunk, you get 200 men can take care of that damn thing. Okay, believe it or not, 200 men and a bunch of fire and some intent, you're gonna take the fucking tree down. All right, and some excavators, and just keep working on it. Eventually, the fucking thing's gonna drop. Okay, and that's what they did to this whole place. They leveled it. Okay, and so that's the Nephilim. That's what the Nephilim did. They're the fellers. That's why you have like fellowship. Like everything's a fellowship. Well, the feller, hey fellow, get it? They're the fellows. That's why the Christian fellowship, even AA is a fellowship. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship. And what is the AA symbol? A triangle, a circle with a triangle in it. A circle with a triangle in it. See, Illuminati symbolism in Alcoholics Anonymous. And it's a fellowship. And all the churches are fellowships because they're all fellerships. They're all fellers, like the Rockefellers. And when you fall a tree, the tree becomes a rock. So there's the Rockefellers. The tree becomes rock. And then there's the fruits from those trees become big round stones the size of homes. Houses, they're huge fruits. And they let them be known by their fruits that they bear. Let them be judged by the fruits that they bear. The Golden Globe Awards, they're showing off the fruits again there. Everything's just showing off from the trees that used to be here. Everything goes back to the trees. Don't forget the trees and the felling of the trees. Everything's about the trees that used to be here. This place didn't used to look like this. Okay? So you got some Freemasons. It's all Freemason deception. It's a bunch of men behind this. This is all done by men. Okay? There's no reptilians or nothing behind this. This is all men doing this behind us. Humans. Human beings did all this. Okay? They're responsible for all this. I just wanted to let you know that. And we need to quit being scared. Don't let them scare you. They're lying to you about everything to scare you and keep you feeling helpless. And it's snake-like what they did. When you take down a tree, when you take down the trees, what would have been the animal in a tree? That would have what animal hides the most? What animal is the most hidden and most is more hidden than any animal of all of them? And it is a snake. you know, snakes are the most hidden creature of all, you know, so they're very snake-like, you know what I mean? A snake can hide and strike and everything like that real quick. A snake is the most hidden creature out there. So what they did was very snake-like. That's why in the Bible you'll see Adam and Eve next to the tree of life with a serpent coming down around them to tell them what happened, because what they did, they feel guilty for. Wouldn't you feel guilty if you took down all the trees and created all this mess? Yeah, you'd be a snake. You'd be a goddamn snake in the grass. Okay, so that's what they did, was snake-like. Okay, so that doesn't mean they're reptilians. It means they're snakes, man. They act like snakes. They're the bad kids of the bunch. Okay, they're like the bad kids of the bunch. Shame on them. I'm saying shame on them. You know, they're the bad kids. You know, they you know, shame on them. I mean, we need to straighten this shit out. You know, and it's a bunch of bullshit. They're bad kids and they deserve to be punished for this shit. And they're gonna and they act like little kids. You know, and it's a bunch of bullshit. You know, we're gonna have to stop all this, and fucking all of us, everybody out there is gonna have to grow up into spiritual adults. You know, become adults spiritually. Okay, I'm seeing a bunch of kids running around here. No, you know, no spiritual adults. You know, so everybody needs to grow up inside of their spirit instead of running around like a bunch of kids with man bodies. You know, adults in kid spirits in adult bodies. You know, and it's like, let's match the spirit with the outside. You know, if you're an adult, then get your spirit to match the outside of you. Okay, you know what I mean? Let's all become spiritual adults and take care of everything that we have to do. Even the evil people out there, you know, everybody can change. You know, so let's all learn from our mistakes and make this world a better place. And we're waking up now, and we know that what's real and what's not real anymore. We're not being deceived anymore. We're awake and we're done. We know what exists and what doesn't anymore. So the reptilians don't exist. None of this shit exists. The giants don't exist. Some of it exists. The trees exist. That's the only thing that we need to be thinking about, is what used to be here naturally. And that's it. It's really simple. The trees, man. And we used to live in those trees. I love you all. There's no reptilians. There's none of that stuff to worry about. Don't let anything scare you. It's all fear-based propaganda bullshit. I love you all. Infinite love to all of you.